Hello, my friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today live from Jerusalem, Israel, the holy city of Jerusalem, Israel, the home of the Creator of the universe, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He. It's a beautiful day today, and I got one of my favorite parashiyot to share with you. The way it starts out is just so beautiful, and it's so indicative of everything that Hashem tells us in Torah. And I think you should know it if you don't know it already. Look at what it says. It starts out by saying, "See, today I set before you a blessing and a curse." Wow. Powerful stuff. The implication here, for those of us who are a little slow sometimes on the uptake, the implication here is choose the blessing. I mean, you have a choice. Who would choose a curse? You would choose a blessing, right? Everybody would choose a blessing, right? Oh gosh, if that were just true. But you know as well as I do, a lot of people don't. Why? It goes further. But before we do, let's go back to the first word. See. See. I set before you today a blessing and a curse. See, what is see? What's see? Do you really need to say the word see? Is it a little bit superfluous? Well, we're told by all the great tzaddikim that there is nothing superfluous in Torah. Torah is exactly what it should be. It's not one word, not one letter more than it should be, or one letter less than it should be. Why see? Why did you put see in front of this? We're going to get back to that in just a minute. Let's first talk about what's involved in the blessing and what's involved in the curse. It doesn't say in the world to come. So we must assume it talks about the world we live in today, the world that we live in every day. It says a blessing if you do the things I tell you to do. I'm going to paraphrase because we've only got 10 minutes. Or a curse if you don't do the things I'm going to do. Now let me ask you, you're all intelligent people, could it be any clearer than that? I don't think so. If you do the things that you've been told to do by the Creator of the universe, to live the kind of life that you and I and everybody is supposed to live, it's a blessing. We get blessings. And I will tell you in my life, for one, I can tell you I've seen lots of them in my own personal life. Some that I never expected. Some I never even asked for. They just came out of nowhere. They came out of the treasury of unearned gifts, and Hashem just gave them to me. And I said, thank you. And I got more. Try it. It's a great system. It really works. And what are the curses for? The curse is if you don't do what you're supposed to do. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you get the curse. Not only does it say that, it goes on further to say that on one mount will be the blessings, and on this other mount way over here will be the curses, and it'll be this big, big valley in between them. The funny reason I smile at this is because over half a dozen years ago, I told my Rabbi that the world is changing. It's changing to a world that we don't know. We have never lived in it. And I don't think anybody has lived in this kind of a world since the time of Sodom and Gomorrah or the time of Noah. It's a screwed up, messed up. Not that anything Hashem has done. Everything He does is perfect. We did this. We did this to ourselves. We did this to the world. We made it the mess that it is today. I'm sorry. I don't mean every single one of us. There are exceptions to this rule. There are people who've been working very hard to make sure this doesn't happen. But we, at the end of the day, are accountable for the world because we, at the end of the day, are the ones who live here. So it's us. We do this. And I said to her, you'll see a big chasm between what's good and what's not. A big chasm. It's going to grow so big you can't help but know which side is which. You can't help but know. It's absolutely positively apparent. When you live in a world where, well, let's not even talk about the unspeakable things that people who, in the name of liberal politics, would do today. You know what they are. I don't have to enumerate them for you. You've seen them. They've been in the news. You can't be on the face of the planet Earth and not have heard the crazy things these people want to do. I thought the one that made me laugh the hardest was the fact that they wanted to tax me. They wanted to tax me, a guy who's lived since 1951, which was, in my recollection, almost 100 years since I've even been slaves in the U.S. They want to tax me, who's never owned a slave. My grandparents didn't even come to this country till the turn of the century, the 20th century. That'd be 1900. Slaves had been freed 40 years before that. But we should all pay reparations to people who were never slaves. They weren't. The parents weren't. The grandparents were. Probably their great-grandparents even weren't. But we who didn't have any are going to pay to them who've never been any. That's how crazy the world has gotten. That's how crazy the world has gotten. You can see the difference. You don't even have to look for it. And that's where we get back to the beginning of this. See. A. The first word. The name of the Parsha. This is the beginning, and it's the most important part, and we skip over it sometimes as if it wasn't even there. Re, which is see that I have placed before you today a blessing and a curse. We get the blessing and the curse part. We get that. And we're going to talk about that in a minute too. See. Why see? Because what we can see, we have a tendency to react properly to. We have the ability to take an action if we can see it. To know there's a blessing and there's a curse. Yeah, there's a blessing, there's a curse. Thank you very much. But to see it in your mind's eyes, see what a blessing from Hashem is like, and see what a curse from Hashem is like. I guarantee you, you don't want the curse. You want the blessing. That's important. We want the blessings, not the curse. How do we know that we are getting off that path? It's a simple path. Do it, you get blessed. Don't do it, you get cursed. It's simple. He said it right out for us. This is it. The whole book. It comes to this point where we say, see. See. In your mind's eye, I want you to understand. This is what happens when you do the things I've told you so that you, not me, you and me and all the people on the planet Earth can live a better life. I did this so that you could live a better life. And if you don't listen to them, you'll be cursed because you're not doing life the way I've told you need to do life. Now, I hear this all the time from people. They say to me, well, Rabbi, I'm sure Hashem wouldn't mind if I... You can fill it in with whatever you want to, but I can almost guarantee you, and with very little fear of contradiction, that yes, he would mind. If it goes against what he said, yes, he would mind. He didn't say it so you could ignore it. He didn't say it so you could take exception with it. We become like children. I have a kindergarten that had just moved in below my apartment, and I hear them all the time. And they're little kids, and they're so cute, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, and they cry and scream a lot. Why? How could it be somebody took something away that they wanted? They wanted it, and they didn't get it, somebody else got it, now they're going to cry about it, and they're going to make a big fuss about it. And you say to yourself, how could anybody do this, such a stupid little thing? And yet, my friends, let's ask ourselves, don't we do the same thing a lot? Why does Hashem do this to me? Why am I having these problems at work? Why am I having these problems with my car? Why am I having these problems? Go on and on and on and on and on and on. The wrong questions. You're asking a question. A question is good, but you need to learn to ask the right questions. The right question. What is it that I did, or conversely didn't do, that I should be doing? There's a whole list. There's 613 mitzvot in Torah. If you need to, make a list of them and go down it one by one and see which ones you're short on. See which ones you're coming up on that you didn't do right. See where you can improve. See where you can get better. I know there's a lot of us who started late in life, about teshuva. A lot of us. I don't expect everybody to go from doing nothing to doing everything, but if you're on the right path and you're moving in the right direction, Hashem sees that as well and appreciates the effort. So keep doing that. You keep being who you are. You keep being what Hashem wants you to be, and I promise you, you have a life ahead of you that you're going to enjoy more than you can even possibly imagine. Now, it's Shabbat. I want you to all go have a great Shabbat. And tonight is also Rosh Chodesh Elul. So I want you to have a great Chodesh, a great new month. There's a last month just before Rosh Hashanah. So now's a great time to be examining what are those things that you need to be doing, what are those things you need to stop doing. You do that, I promise you, a great, great, happy, healthy, and prosperous new year ahead. Be well, my friends. God bless you. And I'll talk to you next week. All the best.